Welcome to Low Key Though, episode 6. Welcome back, y'all. Or I guess I should be saying thank you for having me back. I took a little bit of a hiatus, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I'm so excited to be recording again. I'm glad to have you guys here with me, going into this holiday season. This is dope. It's good to be back on the couch in this comfortable space with my Low Key Though t-shirt on. So I'm going to jump right in. So first things first, every single week how we do. We're going to jump right into a little bit of madness with your boy, Dumb Donald. Say it again. Dumb Donald. Okay, so what has happened since the last time we talked? Joe Biden was elected president. I mean, that's pretty much the biggest news. Along with, our sister girl, Auntie Kamala Harris, also being elected vice president, the first woman of color to be, the first woman to be vice president and the first woman of color to be elected to the second highest office in the land. So pretty much what's been going on is Trump and all of his minions refuse to accept the fact that they lost the election. I voted early. I don't know about you guys. I voted early. I wanted to make sure that I got my vote in and that I didn't have any issues, which I actually did have an issue at the ballot box. Some of you guys follow me on Facebook, so you probably remember this story, but I had been trying to get registered to vote since like July, and I actually didn't get registered to vote until September. My ballot or my application kept coming back saying that they couldn't register me. I needed to fill out more information, blah, blah, blah. So I had 2 voter registration cards and my ID, took that to vote. They could not find me in their system. And they ended up having to call the local, registrar office to ensure that I was indeed registered to vote. I didn't have to do a provisional ballot, thankfully. They said they had my birthday wrong compared to what's on my ID. I filled out the information. I know my birthday. So how they got my birthday wrong, I don't know. I mean, I don't have the greatest penmanship, but an 8 is an 8 is an 8. They had my birthday, I think it's like the 26th of April, and my birthday is the 28th of April, so 6 and the 8 don't look alike. Don't know how we got there. But at any rate, I was able to vote. Whitley and I went and cast our votes together. It was cool. So very glad to have voted. Very glad to have been a part of the process of getting Joe Biden and Kamala Harris into office. So that was exciting. But here we are. 1 month and 4 days post-election, and Donald Trump still has not conceded. He has not accepted the fact that he is no longer the President of the United States as of January 20th, 2021. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I was glad to be a part of that process. So at any rate, Trump won't concede. He will not say that he lost the election fair and square. He's actually saying that there has been an extreme amount of fraud, in which there has not. It has already been stated by election officials, one of which was fired, that this has been the most secure election in the history of our country, which I can understand that, because for so many months leading up to this election, Donald Trump has said that there has been all this fraud that is going to happen. So I can see election officials being over cautious and over concerned about fraud, and therefore making this election even more secure than past elections. Do I think that there was some fraud in this election? Absolutely. I think there's fraud in every election, because I think people, there are just bad people in this world, and they're going to do what bad people do. But I also think that like I said before, there has been an effort to make this election more secure than maybe elections in the past. So I don't think that the amount of fraud that Donald Trump is claiming and all of these random things that he's saying, ballots coming in from China and all this other craziness that he's saying has happened, I don't think that those things happened. I don't think there was any more fraud in this election than in elections past, but like I said, probably less fraud because of the hypersensitivity to potential fraud. So shout out to Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona. Y'all did y'all thing. I played a lot of Meek Mill after Pennsylvania switched back blue. Georgia still has another election, so all of my Georgia friends and anybody that has family and friends in Georgia, they need to go vote January 5th. If they will be 18 by January 5th, they can register to vote now. So make sure that your people get registered and make sure that your people go out and vote, because there are 2 elections that are currently going on there. John Ossoff and Ralph Warnock need our support, and we need to make sure that we get those gentlemen into their rightful positions in the Senate. If we can capture the Senate, then we can undo a lot of the things that have been done. But if Mitch McConnell stays in power, because he's been running the country for the last 3.5 years, if he continues to run the country from the Senate, then we will essentially be kind of locked. Our hands will be kind of tied as they have been for the past 3.5 years. So, yeah, so that's the election recap. That's your boy, Dumb Donald. And none of us are surprised by any of that. So, yeah. So, moving right along, right into Ask Kiki. So 3 questions. These are from people sending me questions. So I'm going to put them out there and go ahead and answer them. So, first question, what is your favorite thing about your spouse? I would say my favorite thing about Whitley is, I will probably say her persistence. She does not take no for an answer. She also does not believe in asking for permission for many things. She believes in asking for forgiveness, which again just speaks to her persistence of making sure that what she desires is what happens. And getting her master's degree, she had an undergraduate degree that was in a different field than what she wanted to get her master's degree in. And she was not supposed to be taking more than I want to say 12 hours or something like that. And she was trying to take undergrad and graduate classes. And sis just went and signed up for 18 hours in grad school, which is unheard of. Her registrar was like, you can't do this. You're not supposed to do this. And she basically was like, it's already done. And they let her continue to take the classes. So she graduated a semester earlier than what she was supposed to graduate because she did not ask for permission. She asked for forgiveness. And I wouldn't even say she asked for forgiveness. She was just like, it's done. So, I'm in these classes. I'm already doing my thing. I'm an A student. So leave me alone. And they did. They let her take the classes she wanted to take, as many hours as she wanted to take, and she was able to finish her master's degree a wee bit early. So, yeah. So her persistence, it can almost be annoying at times, but it's something that I truly admire and love about her. Are you a texter or a caller? I'm both. I will text when it's convenient, but I do like talking on the phone. I talked on the phone to my mom multiple times a day. Whitley and I, when we're not together, we talk on the phone quite a bit. I call my friends, my family, those who are I'm used to talking to. I don't call everybody, but I don't mind calling somebody. So I'm a caller and a texter. So what I probably do the most is text, just because everybody's at work all day, and I mean, it's just the most convenient way of communicating. What are you currently worried about? Oh, we are taking a trip. We're going home for the holidays, and Jackson will be taking his first flight. So I'm a little bit worried about how he's going to feel and how he's going to act in this carrier and on this flight. Um, we did get some sedation medicine from his doctor. We have tested it on him, and it makes him a bit loopy and off balance, but it doesn't really put him to sleep, which is what I was hoping for. Um, but he was a lot more quiet when we gave him the medicine. Just we tested it because we didn't want to his first time having it to be on the plane and something goes awry, he has a negative reaction or something like that. And we're 30,000 feet in the air. So we tested the medicine. He didn't have any type of adverse reaction other than being a bit off balance and kind of loopy, and his eyes looked a little weird to me. They looked kind of droopy, like puppy dog eyes, for several hours. But so that's currently my worry, is how he's gonna act on this plane and how easy or hard this is going to be. So if you have any pointers for me, drop them in the comments, drop it in my inbox, anything. If you've traveled with your pet. Jackson is a barker. He is half Chihuahua, half Dachshund, so he is a busybody. He's a barker, but he's very lazy in his own environment. But when he's not in his own environment, he's very he has a lot of anxiety and very high energy. He's very jittery, and he can be overstimulated if there's too much going on. So again, a lot of fears there for me and Willie. So alright, so jumping into the main topic for this week's episode is going to be the holidays. How we handle the holidays, how we cope, what do we do, so on and so forth. So, are you a home or away person for the holidays? I've done both. I've been away from home for the holidays, and I've been home for the holidays. What it looks like when I'm home is most of the time my mom and my sister do the cooking. I'm not a cook. That's not my ministry. I stick to what I know. I can make everybody a drink, but I cannot cook. My parents don't drink, but I'm not the cook. I'm not going to get in anybody's way in the kitchen. I will taste test. My dad and I are usually the taste testers. I always say I'm here for your entertainment. When my mom and my sister are cooking, I'm always like, I'll be the entertainment, and that's what I do. I crack jokes. I, make everybody laugh and try to make sure that everybody's having a good time while they are doing all the work. My dad and I tend to be the taste testers. My dad's usually the DJ as well. While we are cooking while they're cooking, while we're getting ready for the holiday. Willie and I have been married for 2 Christmases now. This makes our 3rd Christmas. So we've alternated spending Christmas at one home or another. Her folks or my folks. This year we're going to do a little bit of both because we're out. We live out of state now. So we're going to fly in, spend Christmas evening and Christmas morning with her family, and then go spend Christmas Day, Christmas night, and the next morning with my family. So, and we'll be there for a couple days. So we're actually going to kind of hit the highway going back and forth a little bit because our families live about 3 hours from each other. So we do a little bit of both. We try to visit both sides of the family, make sure everybody is, gets a chance to see us. We're going to do that this year. And Thanksgiving, because we just came from the Thanksgiving holiday. So typically Thanksgiving, we do the same thing. We'll spend it with one family one year and then the other family, and then we rotate. So if we spend Thanksgiving with Whitley's family, then we spend Christmas with my family. And then if we spend Thanksgiving with Whitley's family, then we spend Christmas with my family, so on and so forth. So we actually spent Thanksgiving this year with some family here in Texas. One of my mom's really close friends invited us down to her home for Thanksgiving, and with COVID and everything going on, we just thought it would be better to stay kind of close to home and Try to avoid being in a big group. So it was just us. My mom's friend, T-Rob. Shout out to T-Rob. Thanks for inviting us for Thanksgiving, feeding us. Everything was delicious. And her husband, Scotty Rob, and then their 2 daughters, and then myself and Whitley and our dog. So, very small group for Thanksgiving. We had a good time. We ate good. And then the next day, we actually hit the road, headed to New Orleans for Whitley's birthday, because her birthday was on Thanksgiving this year. So, happy birthday, Whitley. Belated. But yeah, so back to Christmas. So that's our plan for Christmas this year. We're going to go home. We're both excited about going home. We went home in October for one of Whitley's best friends had a baby, who's also Whitley's goddaughter. And she had her baby shower in October. So we were just home not too long ago. But this is going to be a little different because the focus will be family as opposed to, her extended family or friends, which is what the focus was on our last trip. So I just want to give you a couple of pointers, a couple of things that I think are going to be important going into this holiday season. Also, FYI, a little baby cup here because I have a little mini bar in my office, and these are the cups that are there. And so this is all I had to fix my drink in. And I didn't want to go downstairs and get Jackson to follow me back upstairs because that's what he's going to do if he sees me. So I just stayed up here. So it's tequila and ginger ale. It's cheap tequila too because it was a gift and not what I normally drink. But again, it's all I had up here, and I don't like to come to the table empty-handed to talk to you guys. So, all right. So a couple things. The whole kind of umbrella of this main topic is protect your peace or protecting your peace during the holiday season. All right. So we work all year, at least I do. I work all year to be in a peaceful place in my life. There is a space called peace that is, I have not always been there and not even always known what that felt like or looked like, but man, do I know it now, and it is a great place. So if you've never been to peace place, find it, get there, and I promise you'll never want to get out of that place. So these are some things that I do and some things that I recommend that you guys do for this holiday season. So number 1, know your limits, right? So and also, and I'm going to speak a little bit about knowing your partner's limits too, because your limits and your partner's limits may be different. So for instance, my social meter is pretty huge. I can socialize for an extended period of time. I can kind of start Christmas morning, 9 a.m., get up, get dressed, go out, and be out all day, socializing with family, exchanging gifts, laughing, drinking, eating everywhere, so on and so forth. And I can do that into the wee hours of the night. My wife, on the other hand, her social meter is not as big. So her social meter gets filled up a lot sooner in the day than mine does. And so it's okay to head out early, right? It won't hurt me to head out a little early as much as it would hurt Whitley to stay past her point of, her limitation, right? So, everybody's not a sociable person. And that was probably one of the hardest things for me to understand about Whitley, because I come from a very social family. And so we all can go all day, and socialize and just whatever. And Whitley gets to a point where she's ready to go. She ain't got to go home. She just is ready to get she's tired of socializing. She's tired of extending herself, in that way. And so, you have to know your limits, right? And it's okay to head out early. It's okay to step outside for some fresh air, right? If you're visiting family, and you feel like your social meter is kind of filled up, step outside, right? Get you some fresh air. Go outside, sit on the back of your car or in your car, depending on how cold it is where you live. And get on your social media or get on your favorite game to play on your phone or whatever, and just take that time to decompress. It's okay. Whitley does that sometimes. she'll step outside and to take a little bit of a break, so that, she's not feeling overextended. Again, for me, no big deal. I can go all day. Now, the next day or that night, I probably want to rest, and I'm probably going to sleep late the next day. But while I'm in it, I'm good. It's also okay to go into another room and just take a nap, right? Kids do it all the time.
You want to take in the water?
I'm taking a nap.
You want to take a nap?
I'm taking a nap here.
Okay, take a nap right there then. Good night.
Their social meter fills up and they need a nap. Yes, we're adults. Our social meter probably takes a little bit longer to fill up than a child's. But it's okay to go in a room and take a nap, especially if you're with family, right? We get tired. We're going to be traveling, so it'll be a great excuse for us, to be able to step away and get some rest and take a little nap. And so you got to have that give and take with your partner, and you got to understand that everybody's limitations are different. So know your limits, understand your social media and that of your partners, and you guys work together to make sure that you're doing what's best for both of you guys to be in a peaceful place. Because the holidays are going to end, and you got to go home together, and you got to work through the next 365 days, right? So you don't want to put that burden on somebody who doesn't deserve that burden. Next, set boundaries, right? Set boundaries. And this is especially important for what I like to refer to as young adults, right? I consider myself a young adult still. I'm 35 years old, but I still consider myself a young adult because there are many adults in my family, at least, that are still living that are 15, 20 years older than me. They would refer to me as a young adult as well. But yeah, so when you think about setting boundaries, sometimes your relatives feel like they can talk to you any kind of way, especially older relatives. You don't have to accept that. It's okay to not accept that. You are an adult, you pay your own bills, you make your own way, and you're coming into this space with positivity. You're coming into this space to be with family and to enjoy family. And if family's not enjoyable and not being enjoyable, you don't have to subject yourself to that. In black families especially, we take setting boundaries as being disrespectful. I know y'all have heard that before. Where you got an auntie or an uncle or somebody that just feels like they can talk to you any kind of way, and the moment you defend yourself and say, hey, you can't speak to me that way, or please don't talk to my child that way, or whatever that looks like, then they feel like you're being disrespectful. It's not disrespectful. You have to be tactful, and you do need to be respectful in the way that you speak to them, because two wrongs don't make a right, right? If they're being disrespectful to you, for you to be disrespectful back is not going to yield any type of positive results. So it's okay to stop somebody and say, hey, you're taking it too far, or that's not okay. It's not okay for you to speak to me that way. Or put up that good old Baptist finger, and make your way out. Go to somebody else's house. If you guys are anything like me, you probably got invited to multiple houses, and you picked one, right? You picked the one that you probably thought had the best food and the most fun, or maybe just the best food, or maybe the most fun. Probably the best food. For me, it would be the best food. I'm a tourist. But yeah, and you may have to just put up your Baptist finger and leave and go to somebody else's house, or go to the Waffle House, or go home and cook your own food. Because for me, I'd rather be in my own space where I know it's a positive energy and I'm in a space of peace than to be in somebody else's space just so I can have the meal that they cook. And I know that space is not conducive to creating and keeping the peace that's in my life. So if someone doesn't respect you, let them know respectfully, and they gotta respect you, or you gotta get out of that space, right? And if you're the one hosting, it makes it even easier, right? You can't speak to me that way in my space. If we were in your house, I still wouldn't allow you to speak to me that way, but I would leave. So if you feel like you gotta speak to me that way, and you can't change your tone or change the way you talk to me or my family or my child or whatever that looks like, then I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. No harm, no foul. We ain't gotta fight about it. We ain't gotta argue. I'm gonna go ahead and nip this in the bud before I even get mad enough to where it's gonna be disrespectful on my side. I'm gonna let you know straight up. Can't talk to me that way. Okay? So yeah, set those boundaries. Don't let people just talk to you any kind of way or treat you any kind of way just because of their age. Be respectful. Respect yourself more than anything else. And let them know that they can't treat you that way. They can't speak to you that way. And then remove yourself from the situation. Whether it's you removing them from your space or you removing yourself from their space. Right? Lastly, don't overextend yourself. I need to hear this, so I'm going to repeat it. Don't overextend yourself. This is me, right? I am the social butterfly of my family, even my parents, my sister, of everybody. I'm the social butterfly. I'm the one that wants to try to see every single person. I'm the one that wants to make everybody happy and the one that wants to pop up and surprise people and this, that, and the third. That's me. And again, my partner is not that person, right? And so I find that I have found over time that a lot of what I was trying to do really wasn't even for me. It was for everybody else. So I end up exhausted and tired and cranky and not being able to be my whole happy, authentic self because I've given so much of myself throughout the day or days of the holiday season. So it is so easy to overcommit during the holiday season. Especially if it's like, for me, I kind of feel guilty when I don't give people gifts. So I'll be like, oh, I'm going to come see you. Like, hey, I wasn't able to get you something this year, but I'm going to pop up on you, right? And I'm going to come say hi or whatever, right? So it's like I'm trying to give them the gift of me because I didn't actually get them a gift. But yeah, it's very easy to overcommit and overextend yourself during the holiday season. So just try to check yourself on that. Time and money are both limited, and that's okay. If you don't have the money to give gifts to everyone in your family, maybe you did it last year, or maybe you do it every year, but this year you just don't have it. That's okay. I think with COVID and with just all of what 2020 has been, people will understand that. If they don't, you probably don't need to be getting them a Christmas gift anyways. Understand that time and money are limited, and it's okay if you can't do it. If you can't do it or you can't go, say that, right? This is a problem area for me too. I'ma see or I'ma try you to death. Like if you tell me that you want me to be somewhere or go somewhere or whatever, I must tell you, well, I'm gonna try to do it. Right? And then I end up not being able to do it, and I end up feeling bad because I wasn't able to do it. When I should have just said from the beginning, I can't do it, right? Or it's unlikely I'll try, but it's unlikely that I'll be there, right? So you just have to be honest, and I'm not always good at that because I don't want to upset people and I don't want to hurt their feelings because I went to so-and-so house and I didn't go to your house, right? Yeah. Don't be afraid to say no, and remember that no is a complete sentence, right? No, period. Can you come? No, period. I don't have to give you an excuse or an explanation. I'm an adult. I have my own timeline. I have my own agenda, and I don't need anyone making a timeline or an agenda for me. So if I can't make it, I'm sorry, I can't make it, right? And that's good enough. I don't have to explain why I can't make it. If you're looking for an explanation, I don't have one for you. I just can't make it, right? And maybe I can't make it because I am actually doing something else. Or maybe I can't make it because I'm not. Either way is okay because no is a complete sentence. Okay? So again, I say to end this video, protect your peace this holiday season. The holiday season as a whole lasts for like 2 to 3 months. When we start thinking about holidays, it really starts like Halloween, and it kind of goes into the new year. So you're looking at about 2 months of time that we really are doing things that are abnormal. Not to mention, y'all, COVID is still going on, right? So I haven't been the most perfect COVID person, in terms of this whole COVID mess. I have gotten COVID fatigue. I have gone places I shouldn't have gone. I have done things I shouldn't have done. But it doesn't justify, and it doesn't make it's still real. And I understand it's real. I just was so exhausted with dealing with COVID that I was willing to risk it, which is terrible. Don't follow my lead on that one. But I'm just being honest. I believe in transparency, and, you know, I try to be authentic with y'all. I have done some things and gone some places I shouldn't have gone. I thought it was worth the risk, and then I spend the next 7 to 10 days just examining my every move. If I cough, I feel like I'm gonna die because I shouldn't have been there anyways. I shouldn't have gone. I shouldn't have did it, right? So I would say, you know, take some time out to, you know, just spend with the people that are in your household. We're all tired of each other, right? We're all tired of being in the house. We're tired of so on and so forth, of dealing with COVID. But you know, this might be the year that you can get out of some of those traditions and some of those things that you normally commit to that you really haven't been wanting to commit to anyways. So don't forget that, you know, whatever you do in this next month or whatever, going into the holiday, or, you know, completing the holiday season, so to speak, don't let it negatively impact what the next 10 months are going to look like, right? Before we reach the next holiday season. So, yeah, this is refreshing. It feels good to be back in front of the camera. I have my notes. Y'all know I be having my notes here. But yeah, it feels good to be back in front of the camera. I'm really excited about this holiday season. I would love to have not to have to fly home. But in order for us to really take advantage of time, we're gonna have to fly. It's a 10-hour drive to Alabama, and we lose so much time when we don't fly. We lose 20 hours of most of the time, which is only like a 72-hour trip. So we're gonna be safe. We're gonna mask up. We got us some N95 masks. We're gonna quarantine. Before we leave, we're gonna get tested, so on and so forth. And when we get back, excuse me, we're gonna do all those things again. So, all I can say is enjoy your holiday season. Do what it is that you want to do this holiday season. Be responsible. Be careful. And yeah, it's low key though. Back. After a little hiatus. So I'm actually. Oh, let me let you guys in on a secret here, and it's not really a secret. This is episode 6. I'm gonna record 4 more episodes. And then we're going to close out season 1. So we'll go on another little break, probably about a month or 2. Maybe longer than that, we'll see. And then we'll bring back season 2. So we got 4 more episodes after this one. And then we're going to close this thing on out and give my producer a break. Give me a break, which I kind of took one anyways. And then we'll be back in front of the camera in no time. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, hitting all of the buttons wherever they are. Don't forget, you can listen to us or watch us on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Follow us on Instagram at LowKiThoPodcast, Twitter and Facebook at LowKitho. And then, of course, my producer, Alicia, she's going to drop her info in one of these 2 places, or maybe both. If you need any type of video marketing content, or if you're thinking about doing a podcast of your own. So, shout out to you guys. Thanks. This felt good. It felt good to be back. So, all right, y'all. I'm out. We're going to put up Christmas decorations like now. Well, at least probably already started without me. So, peace. Because Joe has been... Hey, Jackson. So, haven't recorded in a while, so everybody in the house has forgotten how this goes, I guess.
Girl, bye.
So, cut all that out for me, Alicia.